Coach Cam made this shit.
Welcome back to a pretty special little bracket that we're doing. I would say we've had this one in the drafts for quite a bit, but we both wanted to get obviously caught up on the things we're judging. No Way Home just came out, but with that context, it's a Marvel bracket.
Yeah.
It's the top 16 rated movies according to Rotten Tomato. I always like to do it per somebody else instead of us, because I feel like if I rank them, then you're clearly going to know when I'm going to vote every time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I like someone else being in charge of that. And plus, with two people, we both have to agree, and then we're kind of already doing the bracket before we fucking start the bracket. So
exactly. And this is excluding any of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And we will not get into any spoiler territory.
We'll try to.
Yeah, we'll do
You'll do our fucking best, but I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Some movies just spoil others. Like, if I don't even know if Iron Man 2, if the sequels are on there, but if there's a sequel, that kind of spoils that all of them live in the first one. So at least no Iron Man lives. Yeah, I'd say we'll have those kind of spoilers, but we won't.
Yeah,
just ruin movies here.
Yeah, but without further ado, again, got the coin. I feel like we're going to need it a lot this episode.
Think so?
Starting off, that's rough. Yeah. At number 1, we have Black Panther, which I think is still a 94% on Rotten Tomato.
That's amazing.
That's pretty dope. Versus number 16, Black Widow.
I like Black Widow a lot more than I thought I would. Two things hurt that movie a lot. One, it came out too late. It should have came out before Infinity War and stuff.
Yeah.
It would have had more stakes. And then I don't love the action scenes in that movie. Yeah. I wish it was dialed down and more of
yeah, because
the low key of it.
Marvel's kind of relied a lot on not actual fighting, but superhumans fighting. So when it comes to actual choreographed fights, because Black Widow has no power, so they're just oh shit.
Yeah. And for the most part, they are pretty good. Yeah. There's one that stands out, and not going to spoil it, but Black Widow fights a group of people, and if you pay attention, you'll see that 2 or 3 are fighting, and then you'll very clearly see 10 of them just standing.
Oh, that's in every group fight scene, because I mean they got to have them doing something, because if not, the fight's over if more than 2 people join in at once. But you'll have the people in the back standing back like they haven't been selected yet, and you're like, I get it, but maybe cut them out of the view. Maybe have them slightly out of view or incapacitated. Yeah. But you can probably tell by the way we are both pampering Black Widow right now. We do like it, but it's not winning this.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah, Black Panther's just, we really don't need to say much about it, but it sucks seeing Black Widow go this soon.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about the winner later.
Yeah. Up next, we got Captain America, Winter Soldier versus SpiderMan, Far From Home. Now, Far From Home is the one with Mysterio. Yeah, this. Yeah.
I like Winter Soldier more.
I do too.
Which is weird, because I definitely like Spider-Man a lot more.
Well, yeah, but just as a movie, Winter Soldier's better. Far From Home's definitely the weakest of the trilogy, in my opinion. Because, I don't know, Mysterio just wasn't my favorite villain in that, and it just, I mean, every Marvel movie feels like this, but it feels like it's just setting up. Yeah. It's just setting up for what No Way Home is. So.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's not to knock it, but I mean, again, I like Spider-Man more, but Winter Soldier is one of the best movies in the MCU, in my opinion. Yeah. And it moves on. Up next, we got ShangChi versus Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I like ShangChi more.
I do too.
Yeah. I didn't love Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I'll say, the first one's on here, so we'll get to that when we get there. But
the sequel felt like they wanted to be the original.
But goofier.
Yeah, they tried to upplay everything that people liked.
They had too many comedic reliefs in there, and I don't know. I mean, it made Batista look like he wasn't intimidating at all. He's just one of those guys that's like a scaled down Hulk that he's literally in there. You're like, wow, that's a big dude. That dude must be strong because he just whooped that dude's fucking ass. Yeah. So you're like, okay, that's neat. Yeah.
But ShangChi was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was one of the weird Marvel movies that didn't seem like it wasn't like setting up anything. Like it didn't seem like it was like, oh, you have to watch this, or it wasn't like relying on, oh, it's cool because blank pops up. It's just like, no, it's just a good movie.
Yeah, and we wanted to talk bad about one of the fighting scenes. ShangChi's fight scenes are phenomenal,
dude. Even from the beginning, the bus fight, dude, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Up next, we have number 13, AntMan, the original, versus Thor Ragnarok at number 4.
This one's pretty close for me.
If you had to guess which one of these movies had the last year's sexiest man alive, you would not be able to guess that it was Ant-Man.
Yeah. Who's the sexiest man alive? Ant-Man or Thor?
He's not even the sexiest man in the MCU. Not even, like, maybe top 3. Robert Downey Jr. is a stud.
So, that's
Chris Evans is good looking.
I was thinking Thor, Captain America is definitely 1 and 2.
There's some good looking people, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I say Thor.
I actually kind of like Ant-Man more.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think Thor's great. I like the Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Ant-Man was... Maybe it's just because like I expected it to not be as good. Yeah. Thor, I just assumed it was going to be great. And it was. But Ant-Man I didn't think was going to be good, and it's wonderful. It's one of the funniest movies.
Yeah. So if I was neck and neck on these, I would give the edge to Thor because of the villain. Helena is amazing in that.
Helena's really cool.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Ant-Man definitely is not a movie that you watch for the villain.
Yeah.
You watch it for
it's just Rudd. Jeff Bezos, right? That's who that is.
It really looks like him, too.
Yeah. So you're sticking with Ant-Man?
You convinced me. I'll go Thor.
Okay.
Yeah. I say it was close.
You know what? I want to see how this would have turned out.
Okay.
That
was going to be Thor regardless.
Yep.
Then we have Iron Man going against Captain America, the First Avenger. Iron Man won, by the way.
Yeah. I'm going to go Iron Man. Captain America, First Avenger isn't my favorite. Neither one of these are really my favorites, but I will give the slight edge to Iron Man.
I agree. First and foremost. Marvel is definitely Disney in general.
I was hoping you just stopped talking after that. First and foremost.
That's it. But no, Disney in general has arguably the best CGI. There's almost no one else. Like, maybe you could argue, like, Avatar.
That was ahead of its time. I don't know how they pulled that off back then.
Captain America, the First Avenger, looks goofy.
Yeah.
Chris Evans' head looks so big.
It's like playing Fallout 4 and then you go back and play, like, anything pre-New Vegas.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
Like, they're good games, but it's still just like you've been spoiled so much and pampered that you're just like, I can't do it anymore. I just can't fucking bring myself to do that.
No. And it almost makes it, like, goofy. Like,
yeah.
And sometimes it's not supposed to be. And so, that movie really...
You just summed up Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Just overly goofy.
Yeah, so definitely Iron Man on this one. Boom. Up next, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp against Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, I didn't have to think too much about that.
Homecoming's the first one?
What? Oh, yeah.
I think this one is close. I think Homecoming...
That's right.
Might be the worst of the trilogy.
Really?
Yeah. It's the most low-key, which usually I'd like, but I don't know. For some reason, Vulture isn't my favorite Spider-Man villain, so maybe that's why.
I think it's like a really cool, like, Peter Parker's a fucking kid superhero movie. Like, it's 300% he's a kid. And it's like, it's got all the coming-of-age things, like asking somebody to prom.
Yeah.
You know, and shit.
Yeah. No, and Spider-Man Homecoming wins it for me as well.
It's Michael Keaton.
Yeah. But I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is, again, better than I expected.
Yeah.
But both of them, I don't love the villain. I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp villain was forgettable.
Yeah. What is she? She's named after a bug too, right? Is she? Yeah, she turns invisible and shit. Yeah. But, yeah, I like Homecoming.
Yeah.
It's a cute little movie.
I say, there's no Marvel movies that I hate. Yeah. I think at the very worst, it's okay.
Yeah. I think the scene that does it for me in Homecoming is whenever, like, they both know who each other are, and, like, he's taking them to prom and he's talking to them, like, it's a really tense scene, and I like it.
Yeah. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy 1 against Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
This one's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, for me, there hasn't really been a, like a tough on this level, so, I don't know. I'm going to lean more towards you on this. What do you think? Actually, I'm leaning towards Guardians.
I was going to say the same because Doctor Strange, again, I feel like it just doesn't have a great villain.
Yeah.
And
I don't like the way they portray, what's his name? The god, the thing they just show as a giant fucking cloud monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like how Doctor Strange defeats the final villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And say, I thought it was, I don't know, I didn't love it.
Having said that, I do like Doctor Strange a lot more than the Guardians of the Galaxy cast, like character-wise.
Oh.
But, movie, Guardians of the Galaxy is just really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Hell yeah, man. We're doing good.
Mm-hmm. And then?
That's a cakewalk.
Yeah. Last but not least, we have Captain Marvel against SpiderMan No Way Home.
So, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on it, but I am. Because watching Captain Marvel, it was almost like watching a bad sci-fi movie with an insane budget. Like, there was multiple parts in that when I was just like, fuck, I haven't been paying attention for like 20 minutes. And I had to go back because I was like, God damn it. Like, it's
boring.
It really couldn't keep my attention. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I didn't like the villains, the Skrulls. No. I don't fucking care about them. I don't know. Like, Brie Larson herself, she didn't do bad. But, like, I don't know. There wasn't a lot of things that just kept me there, like, waiting to see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. This, for me, is easily, like, bottom tier Marvel movie for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Captain Marvel is the worst Marvel movie.
Yeah. Granted, I haven't seen Eternals yet. I haven't heard great things about it.
Yeah, so
Angelina Jolie's in it. It's at least like a 4, right? I mean, it's got to be. But and on the other side of things, just saw No Way Home. It's up there for me. I don't want to say how strong it is up there, but it's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, Captain Marvel has the weird thing of like a lot of times she would be like, I'm a girl, so I'm badass. Where Black Widow would just beat the shit out of people.
I'm badass and I'm a girl.
Yeah, Black Widow just beat the shit out of people and then was like, that was it. And she just was a girl, and you were like, oh, she's a beast. Yeah. And the even better example is in Black Panther. The females in that, all they do is fuck shit up. Like, they just kick everyone's ass at every corner. Yeah. And it's amazing.
Yeah, they don't, like, front it as, like, some feminist movement. Like, I think that was the whole problem with me for the initiation of Captain Marvel, because in the comics, Captain Marvel's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Brie Larson does good, but, like, I don't know. They're introducing it as, like, oh, hey, she's not cool because she's cool. She's cool because she's a feminist icon. She can fight with these people. Like, yeah, you've done that with other people. Why are you... Yeah. Why are you making her stand out more than anybody else? Like, Black Widow has 0 powers, and she's kicking ass. Like, I don't know.
Like, she has 0 powers and holds her own with the Avengers. Yeah. Like, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't know why they're propping her up and being like, oh, well, hey, she's doing this. She's a girl. Like, yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really neat, man. But yeah, not to get into too much sexism. This is about Marvel movies. And Spider-Man beats her ass.
And now we got round 2.
Yep, round 2. Cool.
This one.
Black Panther versus America. We've seen this one before. Now, I'll say...
Captain America Winter Soldier is what it's going against.
Yeah, same thing. We have Black Panther versus, what he just said. But these are top tier. Like, this is 2 of the top 3 movies for me in Marvel's catalog. So this one's pretty rough, but what do you think?
I think it's Black Panther. Like,
I do too.
And this really comes down to I don't love Captain America. They do him perfectly. The cast is perfect. That movie is like, I think, the perfect way to do a Captain America movie. The problem is if you look at both characters, I just like Black Panther more.
Yeah, the villain's better.
Yeah.
I do really love the storyline in Winter Soldier, though. It's like, you almost forget at some points that's a Marvel movie, because you're almost just feeling like you're watching a war movie. Mm-hmm. But one of the dudes is on steroids. The true American dream.
And one has a robot arm.
Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. They're pretty damn close, but, yeah. Black Panther's got to win. I can't believe it's so low at 9. But Captain America does his best work in the Avengers. Like, he shines in the Avengers. Like, he's arguably, like, one of my favorite characters in the Avengers movies.
Yeah, yeah.
But he has some of the most badass moments.
Not only that, he's also pretty funny when he needs to be, without being overbearing about it. Like,
yeah.
He'll crack, like, a one-liner.
Yeah.
That is arguably the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah, that's America's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
So,
but yeah, America's ass does not get it this time.
Nope.
Up next, we have ShangChi versus Thor Ragnarok. Oh, this one's tough.
It is.
This one's actually pretty fucking tough. What are you thinking?
I kind of want to go ShangChi, but I feel like it might be recency bias. That's how I'm feeling about this. Is like, I just have such like newer memories. I remember ShangChi a lot. Thor Ragnarok, I remember there was just some scenes that stood out that just weren't, like, they missed their mark a couple times.
So,
but
Thor Ragnarok, it's pretty fucking funny. It's got Hulk.
Yes.
It's got some good action scenes. Mm-hmm. Amazing villain. One of my favorite villains in the MCU.
Yep.
It's got that giant fucking monster thing. He's pretty dope. You got ShangChi. You got family drama. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Amazing fight scenes. Pretty funny when it needs to be.
Yeah. I think the female actor that's with him does so...
Yes. She does really good.
She's the comic relief, and she just does so good at it.
Good. I mean, this is both movies, but, like, strong female roles, like... it's always cool to see.
Yeah.
I mean, his sister in that movie is bad fucking ass.
Yes.
Cool callbacks to the dude who was pretending to be the Mandarin.
Yeah.
You got Abomination. Wong, the dude that's with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm giving it to ShangChi though.
Yeah, I say that's where I was leaning towards. So.
I really do. It's almost like refreshing watching that after watching a bunch of Marvel movies, because it's almost like a break.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're not just sitting there continuously connecting things or looking for things. You're just like, this is a good movie in of itself. Yeah. Even if it didn't have the Marvel tag with it. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I think, from what you just said, like, Thor Ragnarok has... Like, it's not a Thor movie on its own.
Yeah.
It's a Thor and Hulk and Loki. And, like, there's just so many characters that you need to know about. Versus Shang-Chi was just... Shang-Chi? Like, you didn't need... Like, you could go into this movie without watching any other Marvel movie, and it stands alone great.
Ragnarok was a little overly goofy at times.
Yeah, yeah.
That was one of my biggest problems, but apparently that's why some people really like them. But to me, I was like, it just kind of leaned into the goofy. Like, you have too many badass people in that movie for it to lean on goofiness that much. Like, Thor's just kind of a frat guy, like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, he's really cool. Like, he's really fucking cool. Like, I know that's why a lot of people like him, is because he's goofy, but I want to see them do badass things. So whenever they are goofy, like, I'm like, oh, he's not just goofy. Like, he can actually do shit too, and not just, throw a snarky remark.
And another thing is, like, we've seen Hulk lose to everyone he fights.
Yeah.
So when he fights, I'm just like,
he's about to get his ass whooped. Well, cool. We're about to get another example about how strong whoever is, because we know Hulk's strong.
Yeah.
And it's just upsetting.
All right. Then we got my side, which is Iron Man 1 against Spider-Man Homecoming.
I think it's Homecoming. I mean, we've been kind of talking about...
I think it's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I won't push too much on that.
Yeah.
Because I do think I carry a pretty strong Spider-Man bias. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
They remind me a lot of each other. And I guess they're supposed to.
Well, yeah, because, it's just Iron Man Jr., essentially.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay. I'll lean into that. It's Iron Man.
Yeah. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy 1 against Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man.
It's weird because this is the one movie that we both love that we really can't talk about. So we got to talk about why it beats Guardians of the Galaxy by only talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's better.
It is.
I mean, you could still talk about things like storylines, nostalgia, villains, callback. Action is really good. Ending's great.
It's just as funny. Maybe a little less funny. Guardians of the Galaxy is fucking hilarious.
I don't know. There's some pretty fucking good moments.
But it is. Yeah, it's really funny. The action scenes are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the villains being the nostalgic villains, I think just works so well. Especially because they do so well.
Yeah.
I was a little scared that it was just going to be like, here they are, they are, they're gone, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
But no, they all do so good. They really did their absolute best with this movie. They treated it like it was their own franchise.
Yeah.
And that's why that movie's so good.
And both of these movies do really good at being really serious when they need to be. Like, they both have some heart-wrenching moments.
Yeah.
Like, whenever Star-Lord is told about, like, who his dad is, and, like, you just see his eyes just go back to normal. Like, that is such a good scene.
Yeah.
And they both just have, they're both roller coasters. Because it's, like, really good action, really good emotional scenes, really funny scenes.
Yeah.
Like, they both wrap up pretty good. Guardians of the Galaxy's ending, I wasn't the biggest fan of that.
No.
Am I thinking of the right one?
Don't say it. No. No, I don't think so.
Bro, if they haven't seen Guardians of the fucking Galaxy by now, that's kind of on them.
Come on, don't.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not talking about the ending of House of Gucci or No Way Home or Don't Look Up. It's fucking... That movie's been out, like 5 years? 5, 6 years?
You just watched some of these movies.
What?
Not Guardians of the Galaxy, but some of them.
Yeah. The ones that came out in the like past year or two, like Black Widow, ShangChi, Captain Marvel.
Whatever. But yes, Homecoming, or No Way Home wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the other point I was going to say. Guardians of the Galaxy didn't ruin, but it kind of made it to where every movie now has to be funny in the Marvel Universe.
You think that was the first one to like really lean into that?
It was the goofiest when it came out, at least from my like.
And then they really doubled down on it.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, y'all like funny?" It's like, "Oh, you'll see fucking funny."
To start off the final four, we have number 1 Black Panther and number 5 ShangChi.
This one goes to Black Panther.
Yeah, and you know you've heard us sucking off ShangChi for a little bit, so obviously not a knock to that, but. Black Panthers, just fucking overall cast of characters. It's storyline, it's action, it's... I don't know. Yeah. It's really got it all.
Everything that we praised about Shang-Chi, Black Panther has with a better villain.
Yeah, with one of the best villains in the MCU.
Yeah, and that's why I think it stands out so much.
Yeah.
Just because, like... We talked about how Shang-Chi was just so good on its own.
Yeah.
Black Panther's great on its own. The fight scenes, amazing in both.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything that Shang-Chi has that it does well, Black Panther also does pretty well.
Yep.
And the villain's better.
Yeah.
And then my side of the final four, we have IronMan against SpiderMan No Way Home.
Super happy that Iron Man made it this far.
I didn't think it would.
I didn't think it would. Yeah, exactly. So having said that, I don't think it makes it further. If I have anything to say about it, it is definitely not making it further.
Yeah.
Because, again, Iron Man, not a bad movie. Heard my opinion on it the last round. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, No Way Home's just really, really, really good. Yeah. And Iron Man is pretty good, and it set up the MCU. So, you got to give props where it's needed.
Yeah. My biggest complaint about Iron Man is also its strength, and that's that it's very much an Iron Man movie. It is very much him. It is Robert Downey Jr., front and center. It is his movie, and then he just happens to be the villain in the middle of it, in the middle of that movie, but it is his movie. And someone who just really likes seeing a good villain, it takes away from that movie.
It takes away from all three of them, I think. His villains really aren't that. I don't really care for his villains. Mm-hmm. I would say because whenever this started, this set up the MCU, and I was like, that was to me the big difference between MCU and DC. I was like, MCU's got like more heroes that I like, but DC seems to have like a better cast of villains. Yeah. But as it's went on, Marvel's done really well with showing how good their villains are. Yeah. And I mean,
and the one that hasn't is Iron Man.
Yeah, and that's that's one of the weaker cast of villains, along with Captain America.
Yeah, and just
not like weaker, but just weaker in I guess interest. Like, yes, yeah, because I mean they're not weak by any means, but like, it's just not that interesting character. So having said that, my vote's towards No Way Home.
Same, and like Captain America, Iron Man shines in
in
the Avengers movies.
Yeah, him and. Yeah, I mean, Civil War is literally about them two. Like they just take front and center. Yeah. I mean, they're really good together because I mean they are opposite. I mean, it's almost like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, where they're just kind of such total opposites. Yeah. That when they come together, it's just great. Yeah, and they mesh together well. So that's really cool thinking about Larry Bird being Captain America and Magic Johnson as Iron Man.
Yeah, cool comparison.
No Way Home for the win. And to wrap this up, we have the 1 and 2 seed. Yeah. Black Panther versus SpiderMan, No Way Home. Thoughts and opinions on thus far? What you think?
Okay. I didn't know really what to expect with the Black Panther movie because I didn't really know too much about.
I waited so long to watch it.
I did too. Well, one of my bigger things is I knew Black Panther in the comics a little. Yeah. Not much, but a little. Yeah. But I had no fucking clue who Killmonger was. I didn't know any villains. Yeah, same. Or any of the surrounding cast around Black Panther. Same. I kind of just knew him in comics of others.
Yeah, we've been in our little white bubble. And, the Black Panther comics haven't really reached us yet.
And whenever I hear Killmonger's the best villain, I'm skeptical to just be like, oh, quit. Just don't hype something up to that extreme.
That's why I didn't watch it, because whenever it came out, I was kind of afraid, even though I don't think Captain Marvel came out yet, but I was kind of afraid it was getting hyped up for the wrong reasons. Don't get me wrong, it is really cool seeing an African-American lead in a superhero movie. It's really cool. We don't get to see it a lot. We've seen it before with Blade and stuff, but we don't get to see it a lot. And so for whenever it came out, the climate that it was released in, it was it still is pretty racially heavy in America. It really has been since 1776. Yeah. But yeah, it was, riots were going on and stuff. So I was kind of afraid it was getting hyped up just because he was black. Mm. And I was like, don't get me wrong, that's cool, but I don't want it to be good just because he's black. Yeah. Just like I didn't want Captain Marvel to be considered a good movie just because she's a woman. I want it to be a good movie, and he's black. So I kind of delayed that for a while, because a lot of people were hyped up and drooling over it, saying Killmonger's better than Joker, and I was like, come on, man. I was like, what? I don't know why those are compared, but I get it for villains, but
And the other thing is, it's number one. It's Rotten Tomatoes number one. Yep. So that's another pretty intimidating thing to be if I just think it's okay, Now, I disagree with most people.
Well, yeah,
and hate on a movie that everyone loves.
The expectations are high because you're looking at a movie that's ranked up there with like Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh wow. So if I find a flaw in this, it's like magnified by 20 because it's supposed to be a damn near perfect movie.
Yeah,
but I mean,
and I was so pleasantly surprised. Everything that I was a little scared about, I had no reason to be.
It honestly made me forget about like the prejudgments going into it because I was like, oh man, see if this isn't a perfect movie, then I'm going to think it's like a 4.
Yeah.
But when I started watching the movie, I completely forgot about any of that and just enjoyed a really good movie.
Yeah.
Arguably the best in the MCU. And that's with the Avengers movie included.
Yeah. It just has so much cool shit going on at all times.
It really does.
Like the action scenes, there's always something cool and unique to this movie. When it's like, it can be funny, it can crack jokes when it needs to. Like, it does everything just so well.
It tells a lot in a little time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're looking at a dude that rises up, overtakes, and then faces a rebellion of his own. Like, you're seeing multiple storylines thrown together pretty well.
You see
you would think
there's a
just
heist storyline that goes on during it.
Yeah, you would think hearing all that, you'd be like, oh, this movie's pacing must be fucking, like, terrifying to watch. Like, it's like you're at a rave. But no, it's really good. I don't know. They did everything well with that.
Yeah. And then on the other side of this coin is SpiderMan.
Which I did see very soon after it was released. Granted, hyped up a lot too, but this was a movie that if I didn't see right away, it was going to get spoiled.
And that's another thing. There's never been a movie other than Infinity War that it was like, if you do not go see it, it'll be spoiled for you.
Well, yeah, because with this, there were so many rumors around it, and people was just so curious about like, oh my god, well, they have old villains. They're going to have Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, so everybody wants to be the first ones to see and then ruin it for fucking everybody else.
Yeah.
I was like, I told you, but I literally got a notification about No Way Home, and I was like, and it just read word for word on my screen without me even locking it, something about it, and I was like, it's fucking ruined. But luckily, it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So it made it a little bit better, but I was like, if I don't see it this fucking weekend, I'm going to know everything.
Yeah.
And I was very close. My girlfriend knew scenes that happened, like some big scenes. The two other people I went with, they pretty much knew what happens.
Yeah. And the thing is with a movie that tries to pull from nostalgia, and because you see like William Dafoe come back as Green Goblin, you see Doc Ock, you see all. Even Andrew Garfield's universe, you see like Electro come back with Jamie Foxx. There's a lot of times that they're going, the fans want to see the old people come back. We'll just phone them in. We'll throw them in for a minute. Then they're gone.
Yeah.
But they're
the movie.
Yeah. They're everything about this movie.
And they don't just, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is definitely times where they're leaning on the nostalgia boner to kick in, but that's not the movie.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It has, just like we praise Black Panther, it has a lot of different things going on to the fact, like, when you look at it, you're like, oh my god, it's a 2.5 hour movie, but when you're done, you're like, I can't believe they did all that, paced it well, and it was only 2.5 hours.
Yes.
You're like, how did they tell all of that in 2.5 hours? Yeah. And it just leaves you wanting more with that. Like, genuinely curious. Like, it's obviously setting up something, which every Marvel movie does, but this was like one of the biggest ones where it didn't just feel like a tease. It was just like literally, I don't know. It just made me excited. Like, it didn't make me pissed off that it left off like that, but I'm just like, I can't wait to see what goes on next.
Yeah. The thing that we complained about Thor Ragnarok, of like, it has so much going on that sometimes it feels crowded. Yeah. This somehow doesn't, and it has more going on.
Yeah. And when it wants to be serious, it's very serious to, like, dude, it got me emotional a little bit. Like, it really did. There's definitely some scenes in that movie where I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah. And my favorite thing about a Marvel movie, this movie does well. And that's, if you just take it at face value, it's good. It needs to be a good movie at just very face value. But if you know a little bit of pretense, like the context around it, you get rewarded. But if you know a lot of context, like say, because I've read some of the Spider-Man comics, and it rewards you for that too. Like it'll point out stuff in that, which is also just so good.
Yeah, I would say because you really don't need to know everybody knows Spider-Man, everybody knows Aunt May. You know, it's just like one of the timeless tales. Like my girlfriend, she didn't watch the Andrew Garfield things.
Yeah,
it took me 2 minutes to fill her in, and she was caught up.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, hey, you remember the Tobey Maguire villains? Blank, blank. That's his storyline." The whole thing took like less than a couple minutes. Like, you really don't need to know that much. But again, if you like you said, if you do, just a little treat.
Yeah, it rewards you for it.
It's just cool being sitting there, just going, like I get that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
but final verdict.
This one's tough.
These are the two movies that I thought was going to make it this far, by the way.
They're my two favorite.
Yeah. I'm really happy this is when they met.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it earlier because, these are my two favorite, but I'm so happy they didn't meet earlier. I'm so happy on Rotten Tomato that Spider-Man wasn't like 3 or something. Just something that would have fucked it up.
Yeah.
Well, even 3 they would have met, but 4. Like 4 any,
Yeah.
So, final verdict, Barndo.
It might just be recency bias, but I'm gonna go Spider-Man.
Dude, I could kiss you. I thought we was gonna fight over this one.
So
I really thought we were.
The one big thing that can be the worst part of a Marvel movie is the setup. And if you ever seen Andrew Garfield's second Spider-Man movie, Amazing Spider-Man 2, it was just setup. And that's why that movie fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Is because it doesn't do anything on its own. Black Panther doesn't feel like it has any setup.
Yeah.
It feels like it's over. It's done.
Yeah. I would say it's got Winter Soldier thrown in like in a little bit, but it's just like kind of a nod. Not like...
and you can see where it can continue.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home, ever since I watched it, I think about like, oh, what's next? What are they going to do? Oh, they could do this. Oh,
they really opened themselves up to a fucking multiverse of possibilities with the ending to that. Like, the thing that's really good about these two movies is that they do kind of set up, but they don't sacrifice a good ending for a good setup.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I feel like a lot of movies go wrong, especially in the MCU, is that they're willing to sacrifice a good ending just to set up the next movie.
Yes.
Which I get, money.
Yeah.
But I do also go with No Way Home. It
might be recency bias.
It might be.
But
might be racial bias. But I definitely looked at my girlfriend right after the movie and I said, I do not want to be dramatic. This might be my favorite movie I've ever seen. I would say overall, big Dr. Manhattan fan. But in Marvel, Spider-Man's definitely by far my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bias in this.
Yeah.
So but it is a good movie. Don't just think I'm being biased, but it's my favorite movie in the MCU, arguably ever. I mean, arguably.
Yeah. Same.
Well, for me, it's definitely in the MCU. But I mean, I'm saying for me, it might be like my favorite movie I've ever seen.
That's a bit bold, but I do like it a lot. Yeah. And
so I didn't want to come out with that much energy on the first round, so that's why I said we'll talk about it later. But yeah,
and with the other thing that's really heartbreaking is like, not only does Spider-Man No Way Home set up so many possibilities.
I was hoping you'd spoil it right there. I was really hoping.
No. But Black Panther has a sequel coming out, and it's so up in air now because of Chadwick passing away, and that's so unfortunate for this movie too. I don't know. It really, it's upsetting on its own that someone passed away, but it's also upsetting if you're just looking at the movie that now you might have a recast, and then you're going to always be like, it's not the same. So I don't know.
But dude, props to both of the main actors in these movies. God damn, can Marvel cast a fucking movie? Holy shit! I mean, dude, they get it right. Villain. Yeah, they can just. They're good at casting. I mean, they get it right.
No one is better at casting than Marvel.
Yeah, nowadays I would say no. I don't know why I said nowadays. Like, I have an example of before.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna. What's the fucking action movies? Like, that's just a bunch of old muscular guys. You know what I'm talking about?
Expendables?
Yeah. was going to say the second best casting outside of the Expendables.
To be fair, what the Expendables were trying to do, pretty good casting.
Goddamn, if you want a ripped old guy, they know where to get him. Yeah, they're going to find him. Every one of them. Yeah. I hope y'all agree. Well, actually, I again, don't care. But it'd be cool if y'all agreed. Even better if y'all let us know y'all's opinions, things y'all like, didn't like, share, subscribe.
All of it.
Email us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just give us a little kiss. Yeah. Thank you, guys.